A week ago, I released a Team Roshan percent speedrun, where the goal was to kill Roshan as early as possible. We ended up doing pretty well, finishing him off a good 40 seconds before creep spawned. As it was a co-op run, it was very fun theory crafting with the rest of my team, and I thought it would be pretty interesting to outline and explain how we developed the run. If you're not too interested in the process and would just like to see the run itself, feel free to skip to the time listed below, or watch the original run, which I'll link in the description. Otherwise, let's get right to it. When we were initially theory crafting team comps, we immediately knew we wanted Ursa. Furious Waves is just too good for Roche, so he was locked into the team comp right away. We then considered who else would be on the team. Characters like Troll Warlord or Shadow Fiend came up, as they had pretty respectable Roche clear times as well. However, the run felt pretty unfinished. After that, we considered it from a different angle. Rather than taking the 5 characters with the fastest solo Roche times, we tried using characters who would best support the character with the fastest Roche time, which was Ursa. After pretty thorough testing, we finally settled on a team consisting of Ursa, Beastmaster, Abaddon, Legion Commander, and Ogre Magi. We settled on these characters because they all had attack speed buffs and were all melee. The strat we developed centered around boosting Ursa's attack speed in order to stack Fury Swipes as quickly as possible. Considering that we wanted to kill Roshan at the earliest point in time possible, which would be before creep spawned, we would only have access to 1 ability per character and start in gold. Therefore, we took Inner Beast on Beastmaster, Curse of Avernus on Abaddon, Press the Attack on LC, Bloodlust on Ogre, and obviously, Fury Swipes on Ursa. Now that we had chosen the heroes we would be using and their respective abilities, we had to figure out which item sets were optimal. We considered 2 main builds for Ursa. The first, consisting of Quelling Blade, 2 Slippers of Agility, and 2 Iron Branches. The logic behind this set was that since we would be stacking attack speed heavily on Ursa, he would be getting many uses out of Quelling Blade. The second set we considered was Gloves of Haste and 2 Iron Branches, which we hoped would maximize the amount of times Fury Swipes was procced. After thoroughly testing both builds several times, we came to the conclusion that the Gloves of Haste build was slightly faster, as Ursa would reach enough stacks to kill Roshan more quickly than the Quelling Blade damage could compensate. Now that Ursa was decided, figuring out the item sets for the other characters was quite a bit more simple. Abaddon was a bit of a special case though, and as such, I'll cover him last. We decided to give all other characters Quelling Blade, as both Inner Beast and Curse of Avernus affects all allies, and as such, each individual supporting member would be proccing Quell quite often. Next, we knew we wanted a Blightstone, as the reduced armor would be a slight boost to all of our non-Fury Swipes damage, and would further optimize the damage of our supporting heroes. We decided to put that on LC because she deals slightly less damage compared to Beastmaster, so other items would be just slightly more efficient on him. We also needed some healing to survive the fight, and smoke, so we could get to Roche Pit as quickly as possible. After several tests, we narrowed it down to 2 salves which would be needed to heal those who were tanking. Ogre took these items since his DPS was the lowest by far, as well as his move speed. After that, all characters spent the remaining gold on as many Slippers of Agility and Branches as they could afford, in order to squeeze out as much Quell damage as possible. Finally, Abaddon. We initially had him take the same item set as Beastmaster, however after several tests we found that due to how we were pathing to Roche Pit, Ursa always made it there first, which meant he either had to wait for the rest of the team or begin tanking, which usually resulted in him getting stunned. We solved this by giving Abaddon boots, which allowed him to reach Roche Pit first, apply Curse of Avernus immediately, and then tank. Now, for the run. We smoke as soon as the run begins, and Ogre immediately casts Bloodlust on Ursa, allowing him to reach Roche Pit and begin stacking Fury Swipes at the earliest possible time. Since Bloodlust lasts longer than his cooldown, this means it will always be on the Ursa, even though Ogre is lagging far behind. You can see that even with Bloodlust, Ursa is slightly slower than Abaddon with boots, so Abaddon arrives at the pit first. As soon as Roche uses Slam, Elsie uses Press the Attack on Ursa in order to purge the attack speed debuff. Throughout the fight, the supporting characters take turns trading off aggro, using salves as needed, so that Ursa is never targeted and at risk of being stunned. Due to all the buffs, it only takes about 20 seconds after Ursa reaches the pit to kill Roche, with 40 seconds left till creeps even spawn. Now for the big question, is this applicable in a normal game of Dota? The answer, probably not, at least not without some tweaks. A team consisting of Ogre Magi, Legion Commander, Abaddon, Beastmaster, and Ursa probably won't do so well in Ranked, or even All Pick. However, you could easily swap out 1 or 2 of the heroes we used for a character that makes your team far more balanced in exchange for a slightly slower Roche time. While we were interested in reaching the absolute earliest Rosh kill possible, taking 50 seconds or even a minute to kill Rosh will still net you the kill far before creep spawn, and you might be able to do so with a far more balanced team. For example, switching out Legion Commander for Death Prophet only reduces the time to kill Rosh by around 10 seconds, but now you have a team which is able to push and team fight far more consistently. While getting Rosh this early might not even be worth the trouble, if you are at all interested in this sort of strategy, I highly encourage you to make a team of your own and attempt to make it viable. If you think you can do it faster, I'd also encourage you to try, so I'll put a link to the Dota 2 speedrun site down below where you can submit your own runs. Hey everyone, thanks for watching. If you guys have any ideas or suggestions on how to improve this run, or for future videos, I encourage you to post them. I always read the comments, so I'll be sure to try out your ideas. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and leave a like, and if you'd like to see more Dota or speedrunning content in the future, feel free to subscribe. I have plenty of both planned for the next few weeks, so keep an eye out for that. As always, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.